Hey Chris, I finished watching or not watching, listening to the graduate school interview or the panel between I forget their names, Elliot and Jeff. I want to say Jeff Paul was his name. I don't know. It was hard to understand some parts of the thing, but so some of my takeaways from it. It never occurred to me that that undergrad, like somebody that just graduated from college, could just seamlessly go into a PhD program or a PsyD program until they were talking about it. And I don't have a scope set out for a PhD or a PsyD. I'm going to go for my master's, but that would just be really overwhelming, I think. But so I didn't realize also that when they were discussing the funding, that master's programs weren't eligible for as many grants for funding. Mine isn't an issue because the VA will be paying for it, hopefully. I find out on Monday. And I'm actually not a huge fan of research. I enjoy research, but I don't enjoy doing journal articles, and I don't enjoy writing papers. I enjoy reading journal articles and like educating myself and being up to date, like as far as like what's going on in the field. I'm just not like being out writing, and being published is not something that I'm really like, ooh, that's what I really want. And the fact that master's programs end up in a more applied version of psychology, as far as like therapy goes, I've wanted to be a therapist since I started school in 2014. I didn't realize that it was going to go the art therapy route, but I'm really cool with that. I was kind of frustrated because there isn't a program in Utah, and the closest one I think was in Lewis and Clark in Portland, Oregon, until I found out that Edinburgh in Pennsylvania just got their accreditation into last year, and they were actually the first program I looked at because it was all online. I wouldn't have to relocate. I have the baby, and I was like, it just made more sense that way. But because they weren't accredited, I just kind of, the VA totally dismissed it. Like they wouldn't even entertain it. And I wouldn't want to go to an unaccredited place anyways. But now that they're accredited, I actually have a meeting on Monday with my voc rehab counselor to discuss funding for, for my master's in arts and art therapy from Edinburgh. Yay! I'm excited. What I have some notes here. Oh, I am going to end up taking, regardless of whether I have to fight for the funding from the VA or not, I'll end up taking a gap year because my application process isn't until October. That's the deadline. So, and that puts me at beginning in the spring of 2020. So I'll end up having a gap year almost a gap year, a gap 9 months. So they were talking about, I think it was, Elliot was talking about how it took like a lot of self-reflection was involved in whether or not to take a gap year, and it was a personal choice or whatever. And I know that I am tired of school, like today, right now. Well, that's a good deal to do with just being pregnant again, and just all the hurdles I have to deal with as far as like childcare and managing all of that stuff. And then so I think that this year will be good for me. I'm not sure if I even have what I need under my belt to get accepted into the program over at Edinburgh. I know I just need, like, I don't have to take the GRE. It's not in the requirements, thank God. I've taken some mock GREs, and they're rough. That's all I got to say about that. Jen Simmons had to take a couple of them, and they're just very overwhelming. But so that's not an issue. But I know that it's what I want to do. I know this is the path that I want to go on. There's not a doubt in my mind. I have all the, on paper, I have all the requirements. But as far as, like, I have no in-field experience. I have no, like, I've never worked, like, in the field. I've volunteered, like, But at the VA, that's completely different and probably very, very unrecognized, I guess you could say. Kind of people be like, "What? Oh, okay, yeah." But so this 9 months will give me time, hopefully, to secure a position, even if it's a part-time job, somewhere in the realm of like just observing. I think I actually have an interview on Friday for a youth advisor for the county, for Salt Lake County. Even that would get me some experience, like as far as like helping, as like it would be youth, which isn't my primary focus, but it could end up being my primary focus if it was something that just clicked. But so that 9 months will give me a chance to get some experience, if nothing else, to volunteer over at like what's it called? I can't remember. It's a nonprofit. It escapes me. I volunteered there before, and they have like an adult detox center. But I volunteered down there like 2 years ago maybe, and it was a good experience. And they're telling me that I was welcome back or whatever. So even like they said it'll give me time to to reflect, to make sure that this is what I want, and to get some experience, volunteer work, just anything I can really get to like beef up my academic resume. Hopefully I get accepted in October. That would be great. It doesn't even list a GPA requirement on Edinburgh's site. I'm going to assume it's 3.0 to 3.5. So, and hopefully I graduate with a 3.0 or 3.5. Well, I'll definitely have a 3.0, but what else did I write down? Gap year, K-Hap. Yeah, so Edinburgh, they're K-Hap certified, or K-Hap accredited. As far as like employment afterwards, it says in their statement that they help their graduates get like streamline them so that they're able to be employed as an art therapist when they graduate. I'm sure that it is state dependent. I don't plan on staying in Utah. Hopefully. I've been here since September of 2013. I didn't even mean to come here. So I came here on a life flight. But that will have a big influence as far as like where I end up, but just the fact that this is an all online. Granted, it's going to take more discipline, and I don't want to get yeah, I can go to school from home and blah blah blah. I'm just saying I don't have to relocate, because that was a big thing with the baby, and it's a lot. And I think this is ideal as long as I can get the VA on board. They told me that they would fund it, but that was 2 years ago, before last semester happened. Last semester kind of ended rough, so. But yeah, so that was my takeaways from the graduate panel blurb thing. I was kind of disappointed that nobody on, like, the two guys that were on it, that they were both PhDs in counseling, psychology, because I really wanted to hear something from a master's perspective. But I mean, there's tons of people that have master's degrees, so I just seek them out. Thank you.